So Satan, I depicted him like this. Always tries to, always fakes the law, appropriates the commandments, and tries to convince a person uh, to serve him because he offers the commandments. Okay, that's why the choice is always God's grace. Okay, it's not the commandments. We choose God's grace. In fact, then we choose the commandments and we resist in Satan. In fact, when the spiritual life is completely ruined, like in God's grace departed, it is necessary to search for grace again, for the face of God again, not for the commandments, because the person can be completely possessed, like ruin his soul, like fell down, ruined, and inhabited with demons. And for him, leaning upon law and perpetuate himself in the society, yeah, by using the letter, can be successful, but he will be pushing and pushing and doing the Satan's bidding. He will be pushing and promoting the penetration of Satan to the society. So the person will have a desire to punish under the disguise of violation of the law. Especially that person can show signs of enjoying punishing. Okay, this is all comes from Satan. So Satan, that's why the law is not never an orienter. It's never something we must look up to. Okay, we look up to God's grace. Okay, so and God's grace can defend itself. Okay, so whenever God's grace from inside leads the person to do something, okay, so it's the grace automatically creates the boundary of a law around the person to not let entities to come into the vicinity of this person. So the grace and the law, they defend the fleshly human being from wicked spirits, from them coming close. So no attachment, which would be, especially if a person, which would be idolatry. Okay, so if person goes out of his way, of grace way, following wicked spirit, it's idolatry. Okay, so he must remain the first commandment. It's much easier when Christ comes from above, okay, and the commandment is with Christ. In this mode, a person can even step onto demons, okay. So because this is the most dense in the visible universe, the word became flesh is the most, the lordship spirit, the willing spirit is the most dense, so to speak, spirit revealed in the universe. Okay, so the Christ, the word, the spirit of Christ, word became flesh. So if like this, if a person is led by from inside his will to approach a woman by grace, so the grace will cover this situation. All the wicked spirits will be expelled, like this. So, and there will be no sin in this condition. He will behave just like a king, okay? So kings don't sin, okay? Because, well, read the book of Esther, okay? The king was not sinning, okay? So this is the same situation. So no demons, no sin, no presence of wicked spirits, no sin. So that's how it is. So like the impetus, the movement is from the inside, from God's grace, for an action, and the whole action is protected from the wicked spirits. So, and Satan comes and claims for himself, the law for himself, to punish for its violation, to capitalize on it, to to let the person, so the person lets Satan get attached to him, okay, and he inflicts, suffering, draws energy from person, okay, and gains influence in the human race, so to speak. But it's a completely foreign spirit. Viciousness, unkindness, okay, is never from God. Never from God. The law was never for it. The law never was supposed to allow Satan to latch onto a person, and the guys that the person must do some commandment. So that's why, as I just said, the purpose is always grace. That's why Christ says, rise up in that moment, okay? So seek for the glory, for the face of God. Don't seek for trying to turn left, turn right, find the right position. Rise up to God, to reach for God's face, for God's presence. That's why God says, tear your hearts. When the repentance is needed, you tear your heart. Tear your heart, not your garments, okay? So because when there is no God's presence in the person's heart and only demons, performing law is pointless and harmful, even harmful. Because the purpose of the law is to carry grace inside. Okay, it's like a house of of the spirit. Of course, the house of the spirit is the human heart, but the law is like a hedge of protection around the person, to defend this very person, okay, to protect this very person. It's like the power field, with angels, okay, created by God's grace, God himself and angels, okay. So God never humiliates, never punishes, never puts down, always lifts up. So he's always kind, okay. Whenever you feel like you want to do something and there is an burning of punishment for that action, it's not from God, it's Satan attached to you. That's what it is. If God tells you do one thing, grace tells you do one thing, this is the truth, this is the 100%, this is the truth, okay. Grace tells you to do something, and Satan comes and immediately listing in front of you the commandments you're gonna right now violate. That's how he acts. He tries to pull you away from the act of God. That's why eventually, acting by grace, what grace tells you, will show, will come out correct on the ground also. Okay, that's why we always go by grace. We always go by